They are going to join in any second. I hope they have done homework. You must unmute your mics.
Yes.
Okay, how
Here
was
we are.
it? How was it?
Fantastic. Yeah.
Letty stays in the room.
The new person.
She got
was
lost.
writing down. Yeah, she got lost for some reason.
She got lost, in the Champs-Élysées.
That's right, that's right. Maybe the arcs of whatever. The
L'Arc de Triomphe.
Oh, Arc de Triomphe. So nice, so nice. Okay, I hope you like this activity because I
Yes.
think that we all tell stories, somehow, some way, we all tell stories all the time. So, what happened, Margarita? You have to unmute. I think Letty preferred, she preferred to stay in the Arcs of Triumph. Champs-Élysées? You can say
Champs-Élysées. Champs-Élysées.
Oh, your French is wonderful.
It's okay.
Oh my dear.
Thank you.
Where were you, Letty? We can hear you. We can hear you.
Unmute yourself, Letty.
No, we can hear you.
Yeah.
I think I got lost on the way back. It just wouldn't happen. I think it must have been my internet connection.
But
Maybe
it
you don't
finally
speak
worked.
French. Maybe you
Okay.
don't speak French to ask direction.
I think I said something in the breakout room that the French people didn't like, and they didn't let me back.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about the landscape. Okay, let's talk about the landscape. Who is going to make the honors? Do the honors.
Letty?
Letty, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't get a choice there, did I?
No.
Right. So, Juicy just said the name of the street?
Yeah.
Champs-Élysées.
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 Right. So, they have chosen the girls, or Juicy, Champs-Élysées.
Okay.
And we have decided that the couple are going to a restaurant for dinner about 9 p.m. And 15 minutes before midnight, they will leave the restaurant to take part in the celebration of midnight. We talked about in the street, they could hear the loudspeakers with typical music of Christmas to motivate the people. Also, we've said it's very cold and the first snows were glistening in the street lamps.
Beautiful. Repeat that phrase, please. Repeat. It was the first snows. The first snows.
So it was glistening in the street lamps.
Okay.
Also, as this street is very popular and in the center of Paris, I think, it would be very crowded. So people would be pushing and shoving the way towards, what was the name of it? The Arc de... What?
Arc de Triomphe.
To the Arc of the Triomphe. As they were making their way down to there, people would be pushing and shoving, and they would be close together because of this. And we didn't say much more.
Well, but I love the shoving thing. Please explain first, how do you spell that word and what is the meaning exactly?
I have no idea, Katy, because I'm just saying it. I'm very nervous. Katy, you don't know how nervous I am. Shoving is like pushing, no?
Okay.
Pushing, and I think it's very colloquial, the expression.
And how is that spelled?
I don't know, I'd have to look. I always look it up on the Google. I always Google my spellings. I'm very honest tonight. You are showing my heart tonight, Katy.
Shoving, S-H-O-V-I-N-G.
Thank you.
Good. I'm going to
The
Google
technical
that. And,
person has come to our help.
of course. Okay. And did you know that word before, Jorgen? Did you know that word?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. So it's like pushing, like Letty said, right?
Hmm.
Because it's crowded and you're sort of okay. Good. Excellent. Okay, now we're going to talk about the characters, okay? Tom, first Tom. Who wants to say something about Tom?
Okay, I can start.
Okay.
He's 28 years old, and his friend is Jenny, and he's tall, dark, and handsome, and he is dressed up in a nice suit, and so they go to a restaurant and eat roasted chicken with rice and ice cream for dessert with
In
tropical
France,
fruit.
they'd kill you.
What?
No, I was, I was saying yes, good. It goes online with the, like getting great, connection with the landscape, right? But when you said that they were eating roast chicken, no, that was the end of the world.
Do you know that French cooking is, I'm not saying it is, but it's classified as one of the best in the world. So I don't think they'll be eating roast chicken and rice on a New Year's Eve.
And they're gonna have just cocktail. They're gonna have just cocktail. Cocktail.
Yeah,
That's all.
shrimp,
Yes.
and snails, maybe scallops.
Cocktail.
Scallops.
A cocktail then, not chicken. A cocktail.
Or turkey,
Okay.
maybe turkey.
Yes, a turkey. Okay, a turkey. Yes, I forgot. It was a turkey.
I think they might have lamb. They could have lamb,
Roasted,
roasted
Lamb.
lamb.
roasted turkey.
Roast
Turkey.
lamb, yeah.
No, I was
Nothing more
joking.
spectacular.
Completely up to you. So they were eating, and then what else did you?
After finished dinner, they are dancing. Happy music, salsa, slow dance, reggae,
In France.
a mixture. And
Tango.
he takes pictures of his friend and other pictures as well. There is a lot of people at the party, and around midnight they toast in champagne, and they go outside, and he has bought fireworks, some rockets, and they had a good time together. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Celebrating. Celebrating.
Yeah, celebrate.
Anita, this is not okay. I'm going to let her in, but Anita is 1 hour behind. Okay, so I only have one question, right, for Tom. Okay, and please, one of you, Anita, you got 1 hour later. It was 1 hour before. Unmute, Anita. You are just, okay, don't worry. Please listen. We are describing the characters. I have this question for Tom. Okay. Tom, how do you feel? Only the ones who have the character description of Tom, okay? One of you, how do you feel, Tom?
Okay, he feels happy. They had a good evening.
Okay. How do you feel about meeting Jenny?
Yeah, he's happy about that also. They hadn't met for a long time.
Okay. Good. Excellent. Now, Jenny. Let's see what is Jenny, this character, what is like, what is she like? Okay, go.
Jennifer, who is going to say?
Jennifer, Ludmila.
Yeah.
Yeah, who would like to say it? You, Mila, or maybe I can.
Yeah, you can say, and I will add afterwards if you, yeah.
Okay, so first, I don't know if we did it the right way because we focused on Jenny, on even on some aspects about her past.
It's perfect. It's perfect.
Okay. So yes, we said that she's a 28-year-old lady. She's British. She's from Manchester. She loves dancing. That's her dream, and it's something she really dreamed of since she was a child. She's very cheerful, very friendly, and she's very determined to go for her goals. I mean, everything that she dreams of is very clear on her mind.
Great.
And Mila, maybe you can add something.
Of course, we even invented, we made up her appearance. So she's a tall, slim, a young woman with long fair hair and blue eyes. And she speaks French, but not that good because her parents were against her hobby, her dancing passion, and she skipped her French lessons to go to dancing classes. For this reason, he speaks French, but not that good as she could.
I have a question. Why is she in Paris then?
She came to meet her friend Tom because they haven't met for a long time, and they just got together to spend this New Year Eve.
So she doesn't live there normally in France?
No, she just she just came there by chance, so just to spend time together with her friend.
Okay. And
so
how does she feel?
Meeting.
Sorry.
She feels very well how it's possible to feel in Paris, and actually we even created a bit of conflict, and her dream is about to come true, so she's very extremely happy.
Her dream is about to come true.
Yeah.
And what is her dream?
To dance professionally.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because she's a dancer and she would like to be internationally known.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
And
good.
to make a career of dancing.
Okay.
And what kind of dancing does she do?
She can do everything.
Because there is a very famous place in Paris.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Yeah.
Moulin Rouge?
Moulin Rouge. Yes.
Yes.
Moulin Rouge, no?
Yeah.
We were actually, Mila was actually thinking about Moulin Rouge. Yes.
Not Mila, Jenny. I can't dance.
No, but when you gave me the idea.
Yeah.
Can I ask you something? Is Tom her dancing partner, or is it just a friend?
We thought that he was in the past because they met at dancing classes, but then destiny divided them. So, and finally they got this opportunity to meet and to see each other because they are good friends, and maybe even more than friends. Who knows?
Oh, well, here I was about to start with the conflict and the next part, okay? Because my intention is that the people from the chat box, of course, you are the leaders in this case, you're going to be the leaders, because I am going to invite the people in the chat box to start writing a resolution for the conflict we are going to set now, okay? Now, we know that it is in Paris. If we want, we can go back and check for the information that we already said about the landscape and Paris and the time and everything, okay? If we want to know a bit more about Tom, we go back to that part in the video, because I am recording, yes I am, okay, and we can see, some information and about him, also about Jenny, okay? But now we have to decide which the conflict is going to be, okay? Let's think, because I have many ideas. Anita just arrived, but they were friends, but you, Mila, said maybe they were a little bit more than friends, okay? And we have a dream in Jenny. In Tom, we can feel more someone who is happy, right? Because he finally got to be next to his friend again, right? But we don't know what is in his, inside of him. Maybe he's more than happy, he expects something, okay? So let's start to, pull some lines to make the conflict, and then we leave, okay? We stop there, and during the week, you can start saying, okay, the story is about da, 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 and you write it down, or you make a video telling the story by yourselves, okay? With your resolution, okay? Because the resolution is going to be individual, okay? Individual, right? So let's think about the conflict, okay? I have an idea, but I don't want to say, okay? You go. Anita, you can participate, darling, because you
So,
couldn't.
for example, could it be like a romantic conflict?
Could be. Remember that you have to keep always, the first lines I gave it to you, that it was about hope, that is going to be a loss, okay, somehow, okay, and in the end, it's going to be about resilience and a wider scope of life. This is what we have to, like the light at the end of the tunnel. That is our main thing to get, okay, to grab, okay? But yeah, maybe it can be a romantic conflict, but let's say something, okay?
Yes, maybe Tom has already had, this ring in his pocket, and he was going to propose.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Tom, let's repeat that, Mila. Tom had already got
the engagement, ring in his pocket. And he was
because
going to propose.
And Jenny has accepted his invitation to Paris because he's her best friend, but she's going to tell him that she's got someone special.
Waiting for her in Manchester, right?
Okay, that could be. Or maybe she wanted to tell him that she's going to move to Russia because her dancing project has come, to a different
No,
way.
Katia, we had the idea with Jennifer. So like Tom and Jenny were at the restaurant, and it was a party, brilliant one, music, and then they were dancing, and dancing is the Jenny's passion. And some manager from Moulin Rouge saw her, and she came over to her and bring the card, and I want to hire you, please come here and you will dance, like you will be famous.
So Tom cannot give the ring because it's a total change in her life.
Yeah.
Right? It's a complete, twist of destiny here, right? When he was about to come with the question, to pop the question, the other goes before and, you know, invites her. Maybe that could be, okay? So, Tom's, this is a question for the character of Tom. So Wilson, Jorgen, and Margarita. Okay, do you agree on this twist of the story?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, and how does Tom, or how could Tom feel in such a situation?
Sad. She goes, Tom is going to be very sad, but I don't want him to be sad. So I want him to conquist her. I don't know how. Put the other man in a box. Meantime, she's gonna tell her, "Hey, you have to stay with me," and go down and with his knees and beg her and say, "Here, I've got the ring for you. Please don't sign that and be with me. And then you can sign, and I'll work nearby." And that's all.
Okay, so that is going to be your story. Okay, that is going to be the resolution that you are going to arrive into. Okay, but maybe for another one of you, maybe a different story is possible as well, right? So the conflict is, he had the ring, he was about to propose, there is someone, a very famous person, invites her to join him for a, you know, incredible project, okay, related to her dream on dancing, okay? So, Moulin Rouge is, right?
Yes.
Moulin Rouge.
Moulin Rouge.
Thank you. Okay.
But is Tom from Paris? Is he French?
Oh, I don't know that. That is a good question.
Yes, it's
Jorgen?
a question for Tom. Yes,
Yes,
let's
yes.
ask Tom.
Yes,
He's
he-
from Paris.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if he's from Paris and
There's-
if Jenny is going to work at the Moulin Rouge, okay, so she's going to live in Paris, why can they not be together?
Good question.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Maybe.
She says she's too busy. She needs to dedicate more time to herself.
If
So
he
she-
lives in the suburb of maybe 2 hours outside Paris. something
But
like
when there's love, there's time for everything. When there's love, there's time for everything. She can be working and she can be dancing, whatever. But if she loves him really, she's going to see him, take a car or plane and see him 2 hours. And if she really loves him, she's going to meet him. I want her to do that.
Yeah,
Maybe,
She
but
wants
Ma-
a happy ending. She wants a happy ending.
Yes,
may-
with Tom,
maybe
the ring
let's not
was
forget.
expensive. It was expensive, the ring. It's expensive.
yeah.
And he
Maybe
did it
Tom.
with fast. He did it
Maybe
with
Tom
speed.
is
He has a
what?
feeling. It's awful to see a man crying and seeing that she's going to go with another person, with another man. And don't do that. Don't do that.
Let's not forget that she has someone else waiting for her in Manchester. So she doesn't know if to go back to Manchester or stay in Paris and accept the job at the Moulin Rouge.
Okay.
And maybe
Chopin.
Tom.
Yeah.
Maybe Tom is vice president of France, and he just can't be married to a dancer from Moulin Rouge. So it's not for his status.
Okay, okay. Anita, we're talking about France and you can't say anything because you are on mute.
I don't know what to say. Yeah, so, but I really like listening
Hi,
to this.
Anita.
I think also the modern woman is more independent now, and I don't think she puts marriage first, the modern woman.
Uh-huh.
It's a conflict then.
Yes, it's a
Yes.
conflict. It's a conflict. Anita, you were saying something, Anita
I would like to say, I don't know, because you know that remind me my own story too much. So I
I think we got the character from you, darling.
yeah, because you know, I was involved in a story with a dance partner from UK, so it ended not so good. So yeah, but no, I don't know what to think. I thought about, you know, on my mind, I thought about my own story. So I don't know, but you know, maybe this explanation for me is too like a fairy tale. Yeah, but the reality is more based on, you know, more settled at the, you know, some just regular things. Yeah, so I prefer the stories based on, you know, some basic regular things. It's just means that they are more authentic, you know. But I don't like to, you know, to flow too much. Yeah. That's maybe why I'm don't telling. I don't tell, you know, a lot. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
Okay, but remember that we have to agree on something, okay? That at the end, in the end of the story, we should feel that there is hope any possible way, but there is hope because the story is about hope. Don't lose that, you know, from your side.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
don't lose it.
Okay.
And we need to deliver a message of resilience, you know, to stand up on your feet, you know, after something that put you down. That is, you know, this possibility of is a very human attitude, okay, towards this coming into life again, reinventing yourself, okay? So maybe this is the most important. It doesn't matter if the girl accepts, doesn't accept. Okay, the story can move in many, with all those possibilities, they are open, okay? But that has to be there, okay? Make it short or make it long. Make it as you want, but please help me because you're going to be like the example of this activity, right? So some of you, the ones who want to do it, I mean, it's not an obligation, of course. If you want, tell the story, okay? Tell the story of Tom and Jenny, okay? Maybe you are going to stand on Jenny's, or be on inside in Jenny's on or in Jenny's shoes. I think it's in Jenny's shoes, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, or maybe you are going to be in Tom's shoes, okay, to tell the story. You choose.
So you want people to put themselves in Jenny's shoes or in Tom's shoes. You want to be them to put themselves into.
That's right. In order to tell the story, okay? Okay. So it can be written and shared. Okay. You can, let's put it a name. Okay. Let's make a name and we say goodbye. What about A Night in Paris? I know it's a cliche, but maybe yeah, A Night in Paris or something like that, or One Night in Paris. Okay, like the name of the story. So we maybe tell me if you agree or if you want to change and make it another name. Next to Anita's house, we can say.
But you said hope, no? You said you wanted hope to be
hope,
the thing.
Hope.
One Night in Paris is a good choice, But I
Yes.
heard before One Night in Bangkok. It was a song.
Yeah, and Midnight in Paris as well, you know, the
Yeah,
Midnight in
Yeah.
Paris. Yeah.
Paris.
Midnight
Yeah.
in
So, or
Paris.
maybe a last one in Paris or something.
The title has to be short. Is that the normal
Yes.
thing?
Not necessary. It's not necessary. Yeah,
Mm.
it can be.
Hope is never lost.
Mm.
Hope is not.
Hope is
Too
never lost.
It's too long.
It's too. I mean, the sense of what we want to do is too much in there. I think, you know.
Maybe not to suggest first that it's about hope, you know, because it would be more interesting to the people.
That's right.
Not knowing about the end of the story. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
What
maybe.
about what about Reunion in Paris as a title? Because Jenny and Tom are meeting
together.
there, getting together after a long time.
And a meeting in Paris? A meeting in Paris?
I like Reunion.
You prefer Reunion. Okay, let's go to Reunion because I don't want to make it longer, okay? So,
Okay.
Reunion in Paris is a name. You
Yeah.
have homework, okay? And let's see what happens. I'm going to upload. Oh, sorry, you know, I can't upload one more video in the Facebook. It's impossible. So I need to come to check to put it in YouTube and then to share it. I don't know why. It gets thinking and uploading and never ends. So let's do that, okay? I will put it in YouTube and then I would share the link, okay? And I am going to write down a few lines about the activity, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for joining. Sorry that I sent you homework.
Thank you, Kari.
Okay, and
Thank
try
you.
to be here next Saturday, okay? Because we are going to continue this a little bit more, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye,
Thank
everybody.
you. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
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 Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.